Okay, that's an explosive beginning. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is Rebecca, and welcome back to my Pixel Quest. Thank you for joining me again today. Wow. I wasn't really sure what was going to happen, but that was a really interesting start to the episode. And by episode, I mean our blind playthrough of Tunic, which I'm having the best time with. So I'm so excited for you to join me again today for multiple reasons, not just because we had an incredibly exciting last episode. All of the episodes have been really fulfilling, really satisfying, and really fun. This game has delivered 100-fold on any expectations I might have had for it, and really the only expectation I had for it was, sounds great, people recommend it, probably really good, and all of the actual particulars, the actual experience of it has, totally blown me out of the water. I'm actually, because I want to do a whole bunch of stuff this episode, but I'm gonna zip us back to to danger. Okay, so actually turns out I didn't realize I would be going straight into a fight. If I'd thought about it for a few seconds, I probably would have realized that. I just remembered we're going back to the overworld. I just wanted to get us back to the overworld so that I can talk to you about, why don't we go in the house, actually? Hang on, what's the setting in the house like? Beautiful, perfect. Yes, this is what I'm going to do. Okay, Tunic, chill, have a little sit on the bed, enjoy this lovely music. The mysterious curtain there with the strange, potentially like a map on it. I don't know. I feel there's something's up with that curtain there. Check it out, Tunic, because I'm going to talk to the people for a moment. Okay, everybody, I've come to you not only with all of the excitement from the last episode, with a fair freaking degree, a fair freaking whack of excitement from in between the episodes. Of course, I was doing some more work on the language and, kind of piecing together like some, other words here or there. What I've actually been focusing on is not the game manual. Not the game manual as much. I've been doing a little bit of that, but I was actually mainly focusing on applying the things I had sort of learned in my kind of theories about words to the incidental game text, the pop-ups, words, sort of the flavor text and things like that come up in the game, and trying to translate a little bit more, particularly like the descriptions that we get when we enter new areas, because I know that's going to be really, really interesting. So I've been making a little bit of grounds with that. What I didn't expect is what I'm about to say to you now. And so, future Rebecca, who is editing this episode, I'm going to need your help, please. There we go. And the best way for me to get future Rebecca's attention when she's editing is actually to briefly pause and restart the recording, because I will make sure that that's my little way of making sure that I, in the future, definitely hear what I, in the past, am saying to me. But I'm going to remember this, because I've had to set this up a little bit. I'm going to need future Rebecca to help me with a little slideshow. So, one of the things that led me to this new discovery is that I was looking at my little pages with my vocab on it, particularly just like letting my eyes just sort of, just my eyes were like just settling on the page, right? And I get to what you see here. These are some of my earliest vocab that came from the earliest pages of the game manual that we had. And I had, just because it was really early on, I had drawn this one single, arrowed line saying similar between two words, hold and shield, as you see here. And, quickly, that was like really early days, right? And of course, like, I realized, like, oh, so many words are very similar in their construction. So I didn't bother doing that anymore, but I just had this one from the very beginning, right? My eyes just settled on it. Now, I've told you guys in the past, you know, that I have recognized that there are some patterns that seem to be associated with certain parts of word construction, right? And one of the main ones that I've been able to notice is this double vertical line above and below the line that tends to sort of symbolize that, you know, the word has you know, an L sound in it, particularly well and will and a few things like that. So I'm kind of like very familiar with that. I sort of look out for it now, and I was, you know, I had seen a couple of other sort of maybe patterns, but hadn't really like super cottoned onto them yet. Anyway, as my eyes fell on this, you can see where this is going. What I was able to see was the L, because my eyes are really trained to see this, and I was able to see that the second part of these word constructions is the same as well. And of course, they have the same sound in English. Hold, shield, ding. Just like a bell ringing, a struck bell ringing, it clicked, and I went, I bet you that character at the end of both of these words is the sort of the symbol for D, or the symbol for a D sound, rather. And it just, you know, like, even though I had noticed this before to a certain degree, I didn't necessarily think it was a major feature of the written language, because I can sort of see, how can I say this? I can sort of see that there's so much diversity, like, all over the place, right? So I was kind of like, I don't think this is a letter for letter or a sound for sound sort of thing. Anyway, turns out I was wrong. I was mostly wrong. I was right I was sort of right. It's complex, but anyway, what I really cottoned onto really quickly is this is a phonographic freaking language. It's phonographic. Like, this is it's at least, I don't know, it's probably like 90%, you know, phonographic, or I don't know, it's phonographic. This is a language very, very much like the second language that I'm very familiar with, Japanese, that has two phonographic written systems. It has, you know, the Chinese characters are, they're complicated. Let's not get into that. But, you know, in a lot of cases, they're based on sort of concepts that, you know, the written characters are there representing concepts or sounds in a different way, etc. However, it has two very phonographic languages, phonographic written languages, where each character is really representing a very neat little chunk of sound, and in most cases you would say it's a syllable. It tends to be what we think of as a syllable. So I've kind of realized that that's what's going on here, and what I started doing is, you know, like, applying my L and my D to more words that I knew about, and then looking for more patterns that I was able to verify. And so, for example, you know, in the image I'm putting up now, you can see the word found, which I thought was the word got, because it comes up in every time we get an item, and I thought it was saying you got an item. But I was able to identify the N in a couple of things. The sound of an N. When I say N, when I say D, what I mean is the sound of an N. N, D, etc. So I was able to kind of go, hang on, I think this is an N and a D at the end. N, D. Well, what would make sense then in this sound construction? I don't have, you know, this isn't like super confirmed or anything, but I would put money on the fact that this is found. You found an item. It makes sense. So I think that first little character on the front is foul, the sound of foul, probably. Found. Anyway, huge revelation. This is a freaking phonographic language, at least to a very large degree. And my mind is blown, because this is first off, I didn't originally think this was the case, and then I thought it's partially the case, but I didn't necessarily, when I thought it was partially the case, I really only had a couple of inklings that this might be the case. And to me, at that stage, the explanation might not have been that this is the actual construction of the language. It might simply have been that in the construction of this language, in the construction of all of these characters, that whoever is developing them themselves, kind of ends up using a couple of shorthands here and there, just in the actual design of coming up with all of these various things. So I didn't necessarily think it would be the actual pattern, the core pattern logic of what is going on here. Once I was able to start pulling apart, a few here and there, I was able to get like a good handful. And what I was focusing on initially was the end of words, the end sound of words, because that was sort of easy to get a grip on. It's very difficult to start in the middle of words or even, at the beginning, because a lot of words end in a single sound. This is kind of the thing. A lot of words end in n, d, ul, t. But I think that the pattern, so for example with found, a lot of words are beginning with larger syllables like fow, fa, ha, you, no. So they're more complex groupings of sounds, right? So it made starting with the end parts of words much, much, much simpler. And through that, particularly through going through my early words and the words I'm quite sure of, because, obviously you don't want to be trying to develop patterns from theories that might be totally wrong. So so what I was doing was, seeing where I could kind of pretty much verify that 2 or 3 words that I was fairly sure of were some particular English word ended with the same sound, and from that, and also ended with that same, with the same sort of what seemed to be the same symbol. And then I was like, I think that's a freaking N. I think I had already, S was another one I had already identified, but I was mainly thinking of it as a plural marker, not as the sound S. And now I'm like, that's the sound S. I think I've identified T, J, V. It's kind of just, it's one of those things. It started sort of snowballing. And then I was able to start identifying, particularly from short words, because once you identify, if you have a short word that's just made up of 2 syllables and you identify one of the symbols, you can find the other syllable fairly easily. So through that, again, only through the things that are really kind of quite solid and quite verified already, have I been able to start bit by bit, pulling out these different patterns. And so you can see on this next picture here an example where things I had thought before have rapidly changed. Or from words, from existing words, where I've been able to pull out like new characters. So for example, this first one, I thought this text said, it reduces stamina points. That was just based on context. That was just based on, a guess about what word might be likely in that pattern. But now I can identify, I think, an S. When I say S, I mean an S sound on the end, and I can see that the first is a word that I know, you on its own. And so in the middle, it's not that hard to go, well, hang on, this is probably uses. So it uses stamina points. Totally amazing. The one in the middle, the very exciting phrase that I was very excited to, I was probably like 95% sure that I had found the right thing, that this seems to be sort of, in a sense, the name of the game or the subtitle of the game or something like that. It's in the title, and I was fairly sure it was Secret Legend already. Now I'm very, very sure it's Secret Legend, because I was able to see, once I identified, T, the T sound, that it ends with T, and I could also see that it begins with C, because I had literally identified the word C from the first page of the manual, actually. And then it was fairly easy to sort of, I'd already found K, like the K sound, so C, K, R, T, and I can see ND on the end of legend. I'm fairly sure that those other middle characters there are Le and Je, though the problem is until I kind of have more, until I'm able to do more triangulation, basically more cross-checking among different words, it's a little difficult to assume exactly how to break up like multiple unknown characters. So, you know, I probably know how to do it, but I'm not 100% there yet. Another great example that I was really excited about is a word that had been eluding me in multiple places in the manual that I thought, you know, contextually sounds like it's probably the word something or much or something like that. And through being able to see that it ends in a T, you know, triangulating with some other words, it's what. So this particular sentence in the manual says, watch out for what, da 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 da. So exciting, so incredible. So I'm super thrilled about that. Let me show you another thing. So one character that you might remember I've been going a bit crazy about, because this word appears in so many different places in ways that have been absolutely defying you know, like any of my guesses. Like the context for this word is really different in all of these different places. So there's this beginning text in the first page I have of the manual, not the first page of the manual, but the first page I have, where I have kind of guessed that it might say fight to save your mother. It's also when you pause the game, you get something, like, which made me think maybe it's game menu. It also appears in one of our button descriptions, where again I thought maybe it's fight because it says use it. I thought to use it in a fight, something like that. And it also freaking appears in the shop when we walk into the shop. So, it's been driving me crazy. And menu and fight work in some constructions, but they absolutely don't work in other constructions. Yeah, so I was able to get a really good foothold on this by eventually being able to realize that the final character is it's an M sound. So that actually made me immediately go, game. Is this the word for game? Not the other word in game menu when you put in the pause screen, but is this the word for game? And I thought, like, that's it. I've cracked it. This is amazing. But then, you know, it didn't really work in game to save your, and save your mother might be wrong as well, but game to save your mother, it does, you know, use it in a game, it doesn't really work either. What on earth would it mean in the shop? I thought about that for a while. Anyway, I also thought about, could it be the word come, because that would work in come to save your mother, like come on the journey, you know, sort of thing, but it doesn't work in other constructions. What I then got to was thinking about other possible words. It could be other little short words that end in an M sound, and I hit on time. And I now think this is the word for time, and it's very exciting. That's a very exciting word to hit on, because it's used in so many different ways, and it definitely fits in, you know, this in the sentence time to save your mother, or time to do whatever it is, time to blah blah blah. Totally fits. It kind of fit. I can see it fitting in the button description. Use it. Except I don't think the character I thought was in is in anymore, and that's a whole nother thing. I think I've realized I was wrong about which character is in, but it might be something like use it for a time, use it at a time. I don't know. Use it at, I don't know, something. It's something. I'm still getting there, but I think time kind of works there. Where I got to with the shop, I'm so intensely interested in what's going on with the shop now. And I was before, but now with this description, I really am. Because I think I've figured out that the first character, you can see it's got the L sound on the end of it anyway with the two vertical lines, but I think that the first part of it is the sound ho, and so hall maybe I was thinking Hall of Time, like could this, I've gone back and forward with this character in the middle a few times. I had more recently landed on thinking it was now, Hall Now Time. I don't know. I don't think it is that. So this actually might be of. Hall of Time works. Hall of Time? Is the shop the Hall of Time? I mean, it works as a concept. It's very, very freaking fascinating. So that's pretty amazing. And now what about the pause screen? Something time. Something time. It's interesting. It kind of works because this is a pause. It's a pause time. I thought, could this be the word for pause? I don't know. I didn't know what it was for a long time. When I say a long time, I mean like, I don't know, not that long. But anyway, while I was literally putting these images that you see in front of you together, I was still, of course, going, oh, what about this? What about this? And coming up with new things. And since then, I'm pretty sure I've figured out what the character for P is, like a P sound. And then I was able to identify it in that first character. And then I just had a good old stab at it. Also because I've identified, I think, quite a few syllabic collections, like short sounds that begin with an N sound. Ni, no, na. And so this is a whole nother thing. I can now sort of see that a lot of sounds have, unsurprisingly, often have similar patterns to the way they are designed, to the way that they look. So that's starting to help me in guessing certain things, in trying certain things out. Anyway, through that, I think I've landed on, is the pause screen saying nap time? And I'm not asking, I'm just letting you know that's what I'm asking myself. I think it might be, and that is delightful. First off, cute. Absolutely delightful if so. I think this is nap time. I think when we pause it says nap time. Now the other interesting thing about that, it's a little bit kind of like the Hall of Time. It's like, okay, I've translated it, but what the hell is the implication of this? Like, why is the shop the Hall of Time? Who is the shopkeeper? What's going on here? Of course, they don't really look like a shopkeeper in any conventional sense, and of course it doesn't look like a shop in any conventional sense. Why does the Hall of Time have items for sale in it? I don't know, but at the same time, something very interesting is going on, because clearly making offerings to the shrine is about a lot more than simply upgrading your powers, right? It's about something else. So I can imagine the shop is also about something else, and I think it might be something to do with the Hall of Time, but I don't know what. Nap time is also interesting as a concept because, again, if we think about this, what seems to be this meta relationship in the game where we are playing a game, but there is a world outside of the game as well, you can imagine this young kid, whoever we are, playing a game, and when they pause, it's because they have to have a nap. It's they're having a little rest or something. They're having a little break time, a nap time. That's really interesting. That's really interesting. So, mind blown right there. This next page is just kind of collecting for you, like just showing you a little bit of progress I've made. This is very partial progress, right? Like, the thing is, I've only had a certain amount of time, you know, I've been like, finding all kinds of things and having a great time with it. But it does just take time. And what I wanted to do was come and let you know like where I'm at. I wanted to show you my progress. It's just going to take me more time to really like go through everything more systematically now, build up my vocab of symbols and phonemes here. You know, that's just, yeah, so that I don't know that maybe I'll have like everything done by the time we do another episode, or maybe I'll just have made some degree of progress. I suspect the latter. But anyway, this kind of represents some of the progress I've made so far. So as I said, I think that this main text that we get every time we see an item, I think it says you found an item, but in this case when we get the potion, I don't think it's saying potion, because I can see that the end of this word has an S and a K on the end of it. So just taking a wild stab in the dark, I think it's you found a flask. It's the first thing I can think of that fits. You found the flask. So the text that appears in the room where we found the lantern, I've only got bits and pieces of it so far, but I do think that the first word says west, which would make sense because it's in the west of the overworld. The dark tomb text, I got some really interesting ideas about this, and I'm taking a guess at a couple of things, but I have a feeling it might say he is around here. The reason that I'm saying he is because that first character there has a visual similarity to a couple of other H like syllables that I have found that start with H. So I had just had a guess. Could it be he? And the around is because it definitely ends in N and D, and I'm just looking at the length of it and thinking he is around here. What would go with here, right? What he is around here? If it is that, who is around here? What is that talking about? Very tantalizing, very interesting. And then I think it says something about maybe a hero, because I can see in many places the word that I'm definitely sure of is here. And I am pretty sure that I can identify the characters for Hero's Grave. Though in this case, hero was written different to where we see Hero's Grave, so I'm a little unsure of that. That word there that I have marked as light is the word that comes up when we find the lantern, and it ends with a hang on, is it? Let me just double check. Am I? No, sorry, that one is a bit different, so that's a mistake. Never mind. That's something else. That one ends with an S, so never mind. That's just a mistake I've made. But I will make the point about the lantern. The word that does come up when we find the lantern does end with a T, and so for that word, I thought, could it be the word light? Because that would at least work as far as a different word for the lantern goes. It is also a light. However, the problem with that is that I think it's the same character as when we find the dagger. And yeah, so I don't know, that's not really working for me. Anyway, moving on. You can see that the text that comes up when we go to purchase something in the shop, I think it says buy for, because that just makes sense in that construction. I'm pretty sure that second word is for. I've seen it in the word, I think, is form, when I think we're talking about like a blue form or some kind of form with the echo of self. I was really tickled to note that the Guardhouse 1 and the Guardhouse 2 text both end with the word one and the word two. I don't know what the first word there is because I don't think it's the word guardhouse. I think it's something else one and something else two, but I think that's really fascinating. The guard captain, when we fight them, I'm pretty sure that first word there is captain. That's actually how I found out what the P is, because the rest of it makes sense. And I think it's saying something like captain of or captain in I don't know, something that ends with D. The text when we go to make an offering, I think says make an, and it might be like offer. I don't know. I haven't figured that one out yet. To some kind of particle that is still eluding me for the time being, and then it's the word that I have written down for shrine, but it probably doesn't say shrine. And it's a short. It's probably one syllable, and so I'm wondering if it's a name to an actual name of the god or the name of her mother or something like that, right? The beneath the well text, I was just really tickled that I was able to figure out that the word beneath is in it. Beneath something. That was great, and that helped me out with getting some new syllables. The west garden text, I think, says a west again. A west something in something, just bits and pieces of words there. And this last one in the bottom right-hand corner is the text that appears when we go to, I don't know, the spirit realm, whatever it is, through one of the portals. And yeah, I just have bits and pieces, so I'm continuing to work on that. Now, one more thing, just another little collection of things, because there's some interesting things here. The text that comes up when we're in that, I've forgotten what it's called, something temple, the spirit temple, the something temple. The text that comes up when we're around that big giant hexagon where we clearly place things, I'm, very certain at the end it says something goes here, because I've got the word for go, I've got S, I've got here. And I'm pretty sure by having, k, we, s, surely that first word is starting with quest. I don't know. But I haven't really, I've made more progress than that, but that's very compelling to me. There is, I can't even remember where that next one along to the right-hand side of that comes from, but I know it starts with no. The text that's on the front of the gate, that's near the well, that's near the house, I don't know what it says yet. But I'm pretty sure that both of those words end in T. So I think it's like two short words that end in T. A few other things. The garden night. So before I had this revelation about the phonemes and the phonographic sort of nature of this language, I had looked at this text and I could identify what I thought was it saying one of many at the end. The something something, one of many. Now of is in contention, and I'm not sure that is of. It might say one, I don't know, one in money, something else. Anyway, but I had a guess that I thought was quite compelling. I thought maybe it was saying the first boss. We're playing a game. Could it be like a meta text saying this is the first boss? One of many. That made so much sense to me. However, now when I look at it, looking at the actual breaking the word down, breaking the character down, I don't think it does say first boss. I thought that was a really interesting guess though. The first boss, one of many. I was quite excited, so I was like, yay, I want so many of them. But I think it says something else, and I think it might be simp, the first simp, I don't know, something else. I loved the text under the path to the hero's grave because I'm pretty sure it says something along the lines of one of many ways to a hero's grave. Though, again, of is in contention. I don't really know what else to make of that. The text, when we check the letterbox, I just conceptually, I was just guessing before all of this that means empty. When I go back to it with all of this knowledge, I can see that there is indeed a P sound in the middle. So I think it's very likely that has delivered for me M and T on either side. I do think it says empty. And I think when we go to a well now, having put one coin in, I think it says wishes made. I think it says wishes made. One. I've made one wish. Anyway, guys, I had to tell you that. I am so excited. One of the things that I think is so amazing about this is I'm so happy with the way that I've come to this. I'm so happy that I didn't follow up with phonemes originally, because what that made me do is to do an entirely different form of analysis, which is more contextual, which is more about finding meaning within the context of the the sentence constructions that I was seeing, finding meaning within the context of the pages and the places we were seeing the text. So it's very contextual. It's very very much about word patterns and sentence patterns and word relationships. Now I have a whole another form of analysis that only complements that. And this one is about pattern matching, is about processes of elimination and things like that to find the parts of words. And these, now I'm so excited because these two forms of analysis are mutually reinforcing. Like I can go back and forth between them. I really wouldn't be able to do this without having first done the conceptual work beforehand. And it's only through my, the things that I feel fairly sure about or the things that I'm guessing that I'm able to kind of pick apart the parts of the words and start to either eliminate ideas or validate ideas or look at things that seem to be promising and all of that. So extremely, I'm so pleased with how this has worked out. there are some questions for me remaining about exactly, you know, it seems at the moment that the pattern is that there's always the same sort of vertical, the way that you separate characters in a word is always in the same sort of, you know, way vertically. However, I feel like I'm finding some odd variations here and there that are giving me pause and making me wonder if there are places where that's not always the case. So what I mean is where one character doesn't exclusively own its own vertical space, where they might kind of overlap with each other, or where other things might be going on to add to characters in different ways. So I'm not really sure. The other question is about how you actually break up the sounds, which can't be completely predicted. Like in some cases, you know, an N and a D, so an N and a D are their own characters. In other words, it's a combination of a consonant and a vowel. So it might be she or ni or she or te or something like that. But yeah, it's done in different ways. So that's sort of another thing I have to sort of think about while I'm trying to think about these things. This has also introduced the issue, like the interesting, fascinating issue of accent and dialect, because I don't know, maybe this is an American game, I don't actually know who the developers are, but either way, the point is, you know, like we all have different accents, we all have different dialects, and there are some sounds that are fairly close together but have different characters representing them. So for example, I have a character for ho in hold, and I have a character for haw in haul, or I have, what else have I got? Yeah, I have some others that are fairly close together, and there are some cases where it comes up. Well, I, as an Australian with my particular accent, would pronounce this and this word the same way with the same vowel, but I know that somebody with a different accent would, you know, likely pronounce these in a different ways. So that's just an interesting thing that I kind of have to keep in mind. Yeah, it's fascinating. It's completely fascinating, and I love it. I love that it matters. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, I think that's enough. I think let's get on with playing the game. But I'm so freaking excited to tell you that that's where I've gotten to with this. Tunic, let's go. I hope you have a nice little rest. So yeah, I'll keep working at that. I'll keep plugging away at that behind the scenes. But let's play. Let's go and see some more things. So I guess we should go. I've got so many things I want to do. I'm just expressing. I've got so many things I want to do. But right now, let's go back to where we ended the last episode, because we saw a peek of something very exciting here. I don't even know what to guess about this at the moment. Look at this. So we've got our 3 hexagons, and I'm going to be so excited to figure out what they call these. I don't have it yet, but I think I'm getting there, right? I think it ends with, I don't know. No, I don't know. I have no idea. What's going on with you? Title screen sword. Giant 3-dimensional blue spinning title screen sword. Hang on, I can't even interact with it. Hang on, pray. Maybe we're not in the middle. So we can't... Well, I say we can't interact with it, but this is the whole thing with this game, right? Maybe we can right now. One of the reasons this game is so incredible is it's one of those games where clearly finding out new knowledge as you go reveals things that you could do at any time. It's not necessarily like a traditional Metroidvania or something like that where you need to actually collect an item to get a new ability. In games like this, often the ability is simply obscured by a lack of knowledge. And when you gain that knowledge, it turns out you could have done it the whole time. So maybe we can interact with this. Hang on. Oh, I don't have any magic. Oh, okay, that's like I was trying to use the magic wand. Huh. Well, I guess that's all I've got for the time being, unless rolling at you does anything. So maybe this doing anything is contingent on like getting the 3 hexagon pieces or tokens or whatever it is that we need to put into, let's remember the actual terminology. The sealed temple, not the spirit temple, the sealed temple. We have a place there where we can put 3 of these things of different colors, and maybe then I could imagine this does something here. Cool. Cool. Super freaking, my god, amazo. Excellent, cool. Okay, back to the overworld. I have 2 very exciting places that I can go from here at a minimum, and one of them is what is it called, like the library atoll, and the other is beyond the sealed temple. So we can go up or we can go down, basically. I think I can go to the mountain door, or I can go to here. And since we've had access to this one for longer, I think it's time. I think it's time to go there. What's the best way here is actually... It is actually through... Yeah, it is actually through the windmill, isn't it? Cool. I think. Run! Yeah, amazing. Oh man, it's already like... The more analysis I do in this language, the more that I'm also... So on paper, there's a lot that I can... like, I can have all of these characters and strong theories and validated theories. I can have them all sort of written down. I can... like analyze them as I'm going. But what's also happening is that I'm starting to learn them, bit by bit. So even just sort of more easily, naturally, oh, hang on, not this way. Don't want to spook that poor little bird over there. It was here, yeah? Here we go. Up. Now, hang on. let's sort of let's save, or whatever it is that we're doing here. I'm going to call it saving, but maybe I'll have a new word for it soon. Did we find out where this one went? Oh, we did. So actually, I could have... All right, I had totally forgotten about that. I was so excited about the one in the middle, I forgot about this. So this is our quick way. We could have come straight here. That's all good. Using the map, it's sort of like in games when you have the opportunity to quick travel. Sometimes it's nice not to do it. In part because wandering the world itself is its own joyful experience, and in part because wandering like the world also reinforces the relationships between places, makes it easier to navigate. You can learn it better. Also because there are chance findings that you might be missing out on as well. Things that you suddenly realize, things that are suddenly there that weren't there before, all of that sort of thing. Now, there's so much interesting here. Obviously, what's in the middle that I think says up I think says up, which now that we seem to have so many things that maybe take us up or help us ascend, I don't know, it seems to make a lot more sense, but I guess we'll see. We've got frogs, this froggy rock over here, Frog's Domain, which we have here. So something to do with a magic orb, another sealed door. Maybe that is literally the green hexagon, but it seems to have a lot of places that need hooks. So I wonder if it's the place where we find the either item or the ability that we need to use hooks. Could be. Or it could be that we need to go back there with that thing. But there's something interesting over here as well. I could briefly see... Now, honestly, that bird before... So you guys attack. Okay, if you attack, I attack. But that bird before was running away so terrified, I really didn't want to hurt it. This is... I don't know, this may so far be my favorite music in the game. What's exciting is with the amount of analysis I've done on the language is to come to a place that has the word library associated with it. Because that seems to promise me that there will be more words. Surely this is where we get what uses the hook. See, I'm not gonna hurt something that's running away terrified like that. No way. No way. Okay, we can go across these things. There's so much to check out. And now I can even try this with everything. Hang on, this looks like the same... This thing in the water here... That's got to be one of these. Okay, makes sense. It's near Frog's Domain. Maybe it's a giant enemy. Okay. Goes through there, but where else does this go? Nowhere? Oh, hang on. Then why are you here? Why are you here? I thought this would take me under. Okay, maybe something else going on there. Well, surely... I mean, what else should we do to this if not... No, it's because... so nothing happens, and it's got to be because of these... I think we need to activate these four corners because the thingamies, it looks like these currents will flow. Are you electrical currents? There's a crow over here with a treasure chest. No, I don't want to hurt the other bird though. I can tell the crow is gonna hurt me. Don't make me hurt the other bird. That's all I'm asking. It's my precious baby. I would rather that you came somewhere where I could easily get whatever you're gonna drop. Hey! I'm so sorry. It's just that, it's that sort of game where I feel bad about everything like that. Mushroom. Hello. Hang on. It's kind of like a chill shroom. If you know that game reference. I don't... It must be this. It is 2 mushrooms. It's mushrooms. It's an offering. Oh my god. Hang on. There's a shrine. There's a shrine just back there. That's okay. We'll get there. I really want to know what it is, but we'll get there. Oh my god. There's so much to see. These are such pretty crabs. What was that sort of... The way it sort of like exploded there was really interesting. Like maybe it was a cone of water because it was partially in the water. Okay, so this will take us up, hopefully, to be able to access Frog's domain. But does it also... I think I really want to go in here. Oh, you need a key. Of course you do. Tunic's looking up there. What are you looking up at, Tunic? What are you looking up at? Oh, I was like, what's this? It's gone. Oh! Oh, just... There was just half a millisecond there where it lingered too long and I went, wait, get away. Get away. Okay, well, since we're here. Oh, I don't have enough money. I'm not too far off. Okay, all right, I'm not too far off. Well, what if we go in this direction then? So this is already powered up, this one. Let me just check on the map itself. Huh. So on the map itself, the golden seemingly powered up conduits are going around here and off there. I don't know what's to and what's from, but this... So I wonder, that's interesting. I wonder if what it's saying to us is, this is the pattern you need to make. Or is it more saying something like, this is the power that used to be, this is the pattern of power that used to be here. Oh, I can't go this way. This is the power pattern that used to be here, but it has since been changed. That is a rope that will come down to let us get across here more easily. Got it. Okay, so we're going the right way. I need some more money. I need some more gems. Thanks. Thank you. I definitely tried there, didn't I? Okay. That looks like... that's another one in the... that's another one of those things. Cool. Well, since I'm here... Oh, we can't... Okay, we can't get across here. We cannot. That's interesting though, because this actually seems to have been built over the top of this, creating the barrier. It doesn't seem like something that's fallen there, it seems like something that has actually been designed that way. No, it's alright, you run away, No. I'm not doing anything, to you. I just realized you guys were gonna show up, but that's all cool, easy. I know we can go along here. Yeah, I know I can... Okay, so this is accessible. Yeah, I know that we can use... my little friend up there. Hang on, what are you looking at though, Tunic? So... like, it's definitely important what you're looking up from here. So maybe something a little further along that line there. Oh my god, it's eating... The bird is eating the blob. Is it actually dead, or do you guys have... Do you have a symbiotic relationship? Are you helping it, or are you feasting from its gooey insides? We found a way in. What's this? That looks like trouble. It's been cut and it's dripping, which is very interesting if this is meant to be electricity. It's probably not electricity per se. But also, If we need to do something about this, what are we going to do? It's literally dripping into the water there, you can see. Actually, I would say that where that drip is dripping doesn't look like the same place where it seems to be falling into the water, so I don't know. That is a giant crab. That is a giant crab. But this is a treasure chest. For me! Ooh! So this is a similar card to one that we already have. This one has shine, and this one has stars. Daytime, nighttime? Reminds me I've got to pick up my echo. Okay, but that... So this appears to just be accessing the treasure chest. We can't... Alright, we can't move from here. Okay. Oh, I also can't go... Oh, I can't go further that way. Okay. What is that? It's definitely an enemy because I can target it. And it looks like, whatever it looks like it's come out, like it is the shape of a jar and it's come out of a smashed jar. Huh. Hang on, I just want to do one more check here. Okay, so we'll be able to get that open once we get on the other side. Got it. And we can't go anywhere further that way. All right. Okay, that's good, that's good. So we sort of checked out what we can access here fully. At least I think fully. Fully as far as I can tell. We'll be able to use whatever this, maybe this item or this ability will get us across there. Surely this is the area where we get there. Surely. Makes so much sense. When you see the usage of the item, you know, so commonly in an area, it is usually a good sign. Can I fix this? Oh, hang on. Huh? We can! Excellent. So we can easily get down here. That's good because I might as well go back up here and replenish. Thank you, Mother. Blessed be. Great, so that's one shortcut down. I am hugging every wall in this game. You better believe it. Okay, and that gets us here. Okay, and this connects to the central area. Right. Nothing along here. Okay, cool. Well, we've got the treasure now, so we can leave the bird. You guys are beautiful. Big fan. Now my shade will be down here. I keep calling it shade. My echo. That gets us up here. Does this own? No, it doesn't. That gets us somewhere else, but it also gets us to this chest. Great. We're getting close to the money we need for that. Yes, I see it. I see that one. I know about that one. Thank you, Tunic. We're getting close to the money that we need. Oh, and we go around here too. Hang on. It's too much. There's too much exciting stuff. Back. Okay, roll away. Whew, that was close. One of the problems I have, obviously, is that pressing the roll button doesn't mean that you immediately roll. Yeah, that's... I was fairly sure that would be the case. A locked door, but at least we've checked it now. So, let's try going around here then. Trying to be careful though, in case we see interesting things. I'm just trying to bump up against, I'm trying to hug, you know, each of the sides. And that brings us around here. Surprise! It's a crab surprise. It's you guys. You guys are surprised. Aha! Shortcut achieved. Wonderful. Wonderful. Great. We can't get up there. Can wade a certain amount. Ah, hang on. Is this not a shortcut, but is this an access to a place I couldn't get before? It's a, it is. It's access to the other side here. Right. And this. Alright, hang on. It's another one of these, but doesn't get me anywhere. So, oh man, is it that the one on the other side? Ah, that's so clever. Now I think I understand. Here's my understanding. The one on the other side is there to teach you that there's likely going to be one on this side so that you can use this one to get over here. But I could already get here, so so actually it's interesting, but hang on, but I am, no, it seems to be a little inlet here, but maybe that's just because it just seems like the path goes along here, dips in, and then goes around here, but I can't seem to go around here. All right, so actually I don't know really what was achieved by that, apart from just being delightful. Maybe something else I'll discover another time. Okay. Oh, hello. Ooh, okay. How about some of that? It really just freezes them without... Gets you in the water too. Come on out. Okay, no, it does allow me to... So the freezing itself doesn't seem to do damage, but it lets me go over and do damage without, you know, without the risk myself. Sorry, giant crab. I'm playing a game, you understand. I'm playing a game. Now I'm totally out of magic points for the time being. One hit and let's get away. Did that destroy the other one? Oh, yes. Yes. A chain of violence. Now hopefully I'm not getting irradiated here. Maybe we need to collect this like in a bucket. But it doesn't seem to be doing anything for the time being. Let's go on. Another giant crab. At least it wasn't, you know, it wasn't the very last one. Oh, damn. Hang on, actually. Wasn't able to make good use of that. I should, what am I doing? Evade, Rebecca. There we go. Okay, so its shell protects it. What is the best way? Yeah, I'm really just, and I don't have any more magic, which sucks. Hang on. What is the way? There we go. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I could see that like there were times when it was becoming vulnerable, but I didn't really know what the pattern was of striking, yeah, and being able to reach that vulnerability without being in front of it and hence, you know, vulnerable to its big claw attack. Excellent. Well, we can definitely afford that upgrade whenever we go back. That's great. Another access point. Wonderful. Wonderful. Enjoying this very much. That is the top of a windmill, which is also here. Okay, that's the little brown bit that was on this part of the map at the... Oh, over here. Yep, so that's a little wooden bridge, got it. What has gone on here? What has gone on in so many of these areas where the map that we see in the game manual is more complete, like the reality that we're in is a little bit more destroyed than what we see in the map? I think I know what to do here. God, it's a great sound. It's a great sound, it's a great effect. Amazing. And now we can see from this side. Almost everything is sort of blurred out except for what's in the center of the area. That's interesting. So it's a little bit hard to actually look around from here. Is that because I'm not using this correctly? Hang on. What if I hold A? You gotta try. You gotta try. You never know. Yeah, I don't know. If there's a way to do something else with these or move them, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Okay. We're going to leave this episode here, but that was very satisfying. That is the first of the 4, and who knows, probably you, who knows, I don't, what will happen when we actually get all 4. We're going to find the key to the locked door here, and we've got to see if we can get into Frog's domain, and maybe we're finally able to use these hooks and so many other discoveries. I hope that you guys are having a great time on this journey. I'm loving it so much. I love this game. I'm having so much fun. I'm having so much ridiculous fun, everybody. I love it. I love Tunic. I love it. I love all of the work that I am doing on this language. I love just the exploring and the fun of the game here. I love the what seemed to be sort of the meta kind of, I don't know, like the dual sort of dimensions and existences that we seem to have here. I love that there's something to do with past and present, and I love that I don't know anything. I love that I don't know who we are. I love that I don't really know what we're doing or why we're here. I just have ideas, and it's my favorite place to be. I hope you're having a good time. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for coming along with me on this journey, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care, everyone.